Low energy, unfocused, foggy? You might be dehydrated. Whether it's hot yoga, over 100-degree weather, or too much sun. Gator Light, with a specialized blend of 5 electrolytes, was scientifically designed to help move fluids into the body faster for rapid rehydration. Shop now at retailers nationwide. Gator Light hydrates faster than water. Is it in you? Symptoms noted are signs of mild to moderate dehydration. Consult a healthcare professional if symptoms persist.
The new LinkedIn Hiring Pro can't undo your last hire, the no-show. Who set you back because they didn't show up on day 1, or day 2, or ever again. And now your product launch is delayed because you're talking to alien abduction podcasters to track them down. But LinkedIn Hiring Pro can help make sure your next hire sticks. In fact, businesses who use LinkedIn are 24% less likely to reopen a role in the next 12 months. Hire right the first time with LinkedIn Hiring Pro. Post a free job today at linkedin.com/quality.
This message is brought to you by Apple Card. Shave ice by the beach. A trip to the state fair. And a throwback flick at the local drive-in. They're more than just items to check off the summer bucket list. They're also opportunities to earn 2% daily cash back when you use your Apple Card with Apple Pay. Apply for Apple Card now and use in-minutes with Apple Pay. Subject to credit approval. Apple Card is issued by Goldman Sachs Bank USA, Salt Lake City branch. Terms and more at applecard.com.
From the Fifth Quarter Studios in Madison, Wisconsin, you're listening to Coach Unplugged. And now, your host, Steve Collins.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Coach Unplugged. We're going to talk to Steve here. Part 3, episode 666 of Coach Unplugged. But before we do that, and get to some of those great rapid fire questions that we do in the last part of the episode, I'd like to give a big shout out to our 2 sponsors. First of all, Dr. Dish. The ease of use of, pre-COVID, I can tell you, I could take that down and set it up in about 15 seconds. So it's a great machine. They're durable. They're easy to use. Mention Coach Unplugged, and they'll give you $350 off your next purchase. Also, make sure you go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. If you're looking for skill work, you're looking for practice plans, you're looking for how to run an offense or a defense, or if we don't have something, we'll find it for you. Go over and check it out. 14-day free trial while it exists. And also, we would love a review. I don't harp on these a lot, but we do love the reviews, and they mean a lot to us, and they help out a lot. So make sure you go over and check that out. And let's head off to the podcast.
What's one thing you've learned this year?
To stay true to your mission. And from October 15th to November 15th, I wasn't true to my mission. We were going to win this thing. We're going to win the league. No, we're process driven and not results driven.
And that's hard that's hard in today's society. It really is.
And also, I think our clientele, it's definitely, they would blossom under the process driven. And maybe that's why my former coach did it that way. Probably kids like Middlebury. I mean, that's a high academic school. They are intrinsically motivated. Probably they want to please. They want to get the A's. To say that they're already motivated to do well, and to pile on and say, well, now you have to win this game.
Right. They're already motivated. Yes. Yeah. They've already done the academic piece of that puzzle. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's something that they can control. So control the controllables, just process,
yeah.
just
control. That's the quote of the night. Control the controllables. Is there one coaching moment that we could dive into? Like something that happened in your coaching career that would help someone that's listening? Like a moment.
This is a couple years ago, and Chuck Gothard was one of my players. He's now an assistant professor here at Grove City, and he's a minister on top of that. And for some reason, Chuck, I yelled at as he was coming off the floor. And he says, "Coach, that wasn't me. That wasn't me. Film doesn't lie."
That's a great, there's a quote. There's a coach. Film doesn't lie. I said that 8 million times. Film doesn't lie.
Next day, I looked the film, and he was absolutely right, and I was absolutely wrong. So in the middle of everybody, I just want to apologize to Chuck Cotherman, because he was absolutely right, and I was absolutely wrong. And just that apology. And in fact, this has happened numerous times since then, where a kid will come off the floor and I'll get on him, and maybe my assistant will nudge me and goes, "Coach, it wasn't him."
Right.
And right there, I'll say, "I'm sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah.
I would think just apologizing when you're wrong. They see that you're human, and they're more apt to, they want to forgive,
Well, and
We
it's
usually
more
wanna
about
forgive our
trust. They're going to
players.
trust you too. When you show you're
Yes.
vulnerable, they're going to trust
Yeah.
you. I agree. I think that's
Yeah.
going to be. Do you have any superstition?
That I'm not superstitious. Okay, here's another story. And
Okay.
this goes back to 2008. And we were making a run, and we actually won the league that year, but it was like the league championship game. And one of my players, John Scheller, goes, "Coach, here's your gum." I said, "I don't chew gum." Why are you choosing chewing gum? He goes, "I always chew gum. I have to have a piece of gum before the game. This is lucky gum. I want you to have a piece too." I said, "I ain't chewing your lucky gum. I'm not superstitious. It has nothing to do with that. It has you jump. If you jump to the ball, we'll be fine. Don't worry about your gum." And we won the game, but I try not to be because I want our players to play loose. And so, and of course, like everyone has a superstition or ritual.
Right. I mean,
try to
I
stay
always
away from
tell people I'm a tad superstitious, but it's more about routine for me than superstition.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Okay.
like if I don't wear
That's
those
different.
socks, we're not going to lose. But it's more about like the old days when I was a player. Like I put my left shoe on and then I put my right shoe on. It was really.
I was the same way as a player.
So
Yeah.
that's why, as a coach, I have superstition. When we were making a run at 1 year for the state, I think I ate 27 number 4s at McDonald's. So that's when I knew it was getting out of control.
Yeah.
Because I didn't. By the 27th one on that Thursday, whatever it was, I didn't even eat it. I took a bite out of it. And it was like, I was sick of them. But it was like we kept winning. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh crap!
It was all because of McDonald's, right? It had
No,
nothing
it
to
had
do with your
nothing to
coaching
do-
prowess or your kids buying in. Nothing to do with that.
No, I don't even know if they knew it, but I knew it. All right, so I'm going to do what I refer to as rapid fire, Coach. I'm going to give you a question. They tend to be very short answers, but they don't have to be. Sometimes I'll jump in. What is your favorite brand of basketball? The actual ball that you play with?
Voit.
Voit?
You know, the rubber balls back in the 1970s. Voit. V-O-I-T. They don't even make them anymore. I was joking.
I don't
It's
even
Wilson.
remember the Voit.
Yep.
I had
You're
ponies. Do you remember ponies? I had ponies.
I wore ponies. I think it was my junior year of high school.
Yep, I had ponies in high school, and I still got my college Converse All-Stars up in my closet. You know, the ones that Magic wore and Bird wore, and
yes.
Oh yeah,
yes.
I got those upstairs.
You can sell those on eBay and you can retire early.
Yeah, they're all beat up because I actually wore them and played in them, so they're not in pristine. Okay, so what ball do you use, or what's your favorite ball?
Yeah, Wilson Solutions.
And is that what they use for the NCAA?
They do, and that's what our league uses as well. Mm-hmm.
Yep, I tell coaches just use the ball that they're going to use in the most important game you play all year.
Right on.
One word to describe your ideal player.
Selfless.
Amen. One sporting event you could go to in the world.
Okay. World Cup. My wife is going to love me for this.
After my first year teaching, I think I've told this story, but after my first year teaching, my brother and I went around Europe. So that would have been 90. And we were in Italy, and the World Cup was in Italy. And I didn't know what's the World Cup. I grew up in Wisconsin, whatever. And literally towns we'd have to leave towns because the World Cup. And I remember going to this little mom and pop place in like Milan or something. It was the best pasta ever. She brought it out, the Italian mom, you can just picture her, and she puts it down. And we don't literally see anyone for the next hour. My brother and I are eating it, blah, blah, blah. Everyone is on it in a TV, around a TV watching it. Yeah. I think Italy was still playing at that point. It's like, what is this?
Yeah.
It's like there's a whole,
You can tell we're Americans.
Yeah, I definitely look like an American at that point. Favorite pregame meal?
Oh, it's got to be pasta. Okay. Old school pasta.
Okay.
With meatballs. I want meatballs with mine too.
What is it? What did Bobby Knight used to do? He used to give them every player got vanilla ice cream and he got pistachio or something. Such a Bobby Knight thing. One skill not being taught in today's game.
Post-ups.
I always say footwork is one that's really bad too. One thing you do to relax.
I read or exercise.
I don't exercise.
I can see you got a great library.
I don't exercise as much as I should. I try to take the dogs for a walk, but
that's exercise. That's clearing the mechanism.
It's definitely clearing the mechanism. My wife goes, God, that was there's a pond, I don't know, maybe a half a mile from our house. So I walk around it and she goes, God, you did that fast today. I go, well, the dogs were moving and I was trying to keep up, One coaching technique you consider important.
Technique? I would say that it is, it's setting a screen. I mean, we set so many screens in our offense that it's a paramount.
And how do you break that down?
Cover your private parts, cover your unit.
Yeah.
Make sure that your feet aren't a set farther out than your shoulders. Get your chest out and get angled properly. In other words, you got to read where that defense is. Don't worry about your teammate. He's going to read you, and that's how we teach it. Okay?
And do you spend a lot of time breaking that down into little pieces, like 2-on-2? No.
Yeah, we do 2-on-2 stuff.
A lot of 2-on-2. Yeah, because there's a nuance to where you set the screen and how you read the screen. High school kids
like
don't.
butt to ball, butt to basket.
Yeah,
That's how we.
Kids don't do a great job of reading. They'll just go where they think they're supposed to go.
Yeah.
Especially on that, not on the first screen, but the second screen. I had one team, they would cut high every time. I go, why are you always cut? You're not even thinking when you cut. I can defend you because I know where you're going. Yeah, and that's where film is a wonderful thing. You can kind of teach them that. Best basketball player you have seen in person?
That was Julius Erving.
Ooh, I have his rookie card in my safe, actually.
Wow.
Yeah,
he was probably the best because I didn't see Larry Bird or Magic. No, I'm sorry. Let me take that back. It was Larry Bird when they were playing the Cavaliers back in the late 80s.
He was something, wasn't he?
It was the last row of the old Richland Coliseum, but thankfully I had my glasses on. But he was the best player I've seen him.
He was the game changed with Magic and Larry. Yeah. It really did.
And for young coach or maybe players, his book Drive is one of the best, I think. And maybe it's outdated because people know who Larry Bird is, but growing up and reading that book was a great motivation for me to really sink my teeth into the game.
Best basketball player of all time?
I'm going to say was Michael Jordan. Who would you say, Steve?
Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening. If you'd like to support us, go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. Also, subscribe and like. We do appreciate those. Have a great day.
I think after watching Last Dance, you got to put probably Michael. I think Russell is one that's lost in the shuffle a little bit because he won 10 and never lost in a finals.
Yeah.
It's so hard to compare cross generations.
Yeah.
I think LeBron. The problem is LeBron has lost in the final. Michael never played a game 7.
Good point.
He never lost a final. It's hard to argue with that one. But how do you compare a Bob Cousy or a Mikan to a LeBron? You can't. So I think you have to have generational. I think the next great player of the generation lives in Wisconsin.
Who's that?
I think Giannis is going to be the next great.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
If you're building a basketball player, you build him. I mean, he's 24 years old.
Think about that.
And he's like, if he goes from here to here, oh my God. But he reminds me, Anyway, and one thing I was talking to a G League coach a couple weeks ago about, what people don't understand is how LeBron's still playing because LeBron takes care of his body. He spends like $1 million a year on his body. These guys that stick around, Michael didn't play as long as LeBron. The game has changed obviously since then. It would be Michael, but I think he just changed. I think Larry and Magic changed the game. I think Michael was the perfect person to come in next. What's your favorite drill?
My favorite drill, I know this sounds old school, but it's the shell. The shell drill is like the magic for teaching defensive spacing in all aspects. I love it. I think we do it almost every day.
Yeah, I think you have to. What's one thing that's made you a better coach?
Listening to my mentors. I've been so blessed with mentors. Even nowadays, I'll give you one example. Is Bob Schlosser, who was a longtime head coach at Elizabethtown College. He took them to a AA final, and he's taught me the flex. And I knew him growing up, and I'm just indebted to a guy like that who just invested in me.
I feel like I know less now than I did in my 20s. Like, I feel like I need more mentors. I feel like I need more, isn't that crazy how that works? And it's because I know I don't know everything.
I say that to my players, if you know that you don't know, you're in a good spot because at least you know your ignorance. But if you don't know that you don't even know, what are you going to do?
But part of that's youth though. And part of that's that's why they pick the young people to go off to war, because there's no sense of invincibility.
Invincibility.
Yeah, it's I don't feel like I'm as good a coach as I was 20 years ago, but it's I don't feel like, anyway.
Hey, Steve, can I ask you a question about your assistants? I'm so impressed with the fact that you've had, 2 groups of assistants your whole career. How much now do you rely on them more and more as you get older? Do you delegate, Mark?
I talk 25% of our practice. Maybe it's me talk 25%.
I do the same thing. Like again,
because I mean, one of my assistants, John, basically runs. He does our offense. Like John, take it. And I'll just stand on the side, and then I'll grab a kid, and I'll do this, and I'll jump in. And it's like I tend to take more of the defensive part, but no, it's like, and then I got another assistant does literally all the scouting.
Yeah.
He comes to me, he gives it to me, I look at it. I'm still watching film and stuff, but part of the reason I'm still doing it after 30 years is I'm not doing everything. If you try to do everything, you can't. So
I think there's great wisdom in that. I know if I were, and again, I don't know. I have Sean Severson, 16 years as my assistant, and I rely on him.
Oh yeah. If I lost my staff, it would be like I'd have to contemplate whether I'm coming back, because that means I'd have to get a new staff. I'd have to
teach everybody.
Yeah, and the thing is that and there's a little bit of a herd mentality, but I have them. They're far enough along, and we trust each other enough that they'll go, don't do that, Steve. What are you doing?
Yes.
Like one of my coaches always is saying, do less, Steve. Do less, because I want to put in 3 quick hitters. I want to do this, and I want to do this. And I want to do this. Do less. Do less. He always keeps saying it, and he keeps saying it because he knows I'm going to take it, and I'm going to listen to it. And it's the same thing with during a game. I want input during a game. Now I'll decipher it, but I want all the input. Like in my 20s, I didn't want any input. I was going to do what I was going to do. And
I was the same way. We know less now than we did before. A lot of information my assistants would give, and I would give that nod, like the active listening nod, and not even take their advice. And now it's, I'm listening. And I'll take it,
And the thing is, you'll take it, and sometimes I make the wrong decision. I remember we won a state. I think it was our 09 state championship team. We were driving to the game, whatever, and one of my coaches goes, "Man, I'm saying to myself, we should do 1-3-1. We should do this." He goes, "Oh, I don't know, Steve. I don't know." And we had a nice conversation about it. And then at some point in that game, I pulled it out and we did it, and it worked. And it's probably one of the reasons we won. But it was like he was just giving me input. Like, here's whatever. I mean, I could have made the wrong call too. So that's what you want. And I always tell people you want a Yoda. You want somebody that knows more than you. You want an administrator, somebody that will do all the, and you want somebody that questions. You get 2 of those in one person, but those are the 3 things you need in this. Somebody that can keep you organized, because you can't do all that stuff if you're driving the bus. You can't worry about the directions too. And then you need somebody that is going to question you, and then you need an X and O guy. You need somebody. If you got those, you're good.
You're in good shape.
And one person can do more than one of them, but for sure. Your favorite quote?
Oh, you know what? Well, of late, now this is probably not my favorite quote all time, and this is what I'm using with my team, it's attributed to Winston Churchill. It's never waste a good crisis. So, we're going
God, that seems appropriate. Say that again, Coach.
Never waste a good crisis. How are we going to deal with this when kids are at home and you don't have your shooting machine anymore? You don't have your bench press anymore. You don't have your friend. Well, you're going to have to deal with that. This is a crisis, and let's grow through it. Let's be better on the back end of it as basketball.
Who said that? Winston Churchill?
Yeah, I actually heard it from Mike Bray from Notre Dame, who attributed it to Winston Churchill.
I just wrote that down because I'm going to send that to my players tonight, actually. One word to describe your coaching style.
Can I get 2 words? Am I allowed 2 words?
You can have 2 words.
All right, process-driven. Process-driven.
Okay, yep. Yeah, process-driven. Best basketball coach of all time.
I would have to say John Wood. I mean, the number of titles and also the number of disciples, and I'll use that term loosely, that he has developed over the decades.
Yeah, and what I tell young coaches too, you don't realize that Wooden and Coach K lost a lot early in their careers. Coach K almost lost his job.
Yeah,
he was close.
Yeah, John Wooden. That's right. He was not on top of the world in his early days in the 1950s at UCLA.
No, so that's what I tell him. Keep working. It will work. What one book you would recommend?
I like. For me, it was about the mental game of basketball. It was by Pete Carril. And if your listeners don't remember him, he was the longtime coach at Princeton University. And it's called The Smart Take from the Strong. And it's not a very long book, but
it's a great book. It's on this shelf.
You read it, Steve? Okay.
Oh, it's awesome. Great. Yeah. It's like little snippet. It is the Snapchat book for the generation because they're little stories. Point. It's like they're paragraphs. It's like you put it in your bathroom if you really want a book for your bathroom. Swear to God. It's that kind of book.
I read it on the bus to away games. Just a couple chapters and just a I guess, remind myself.
Easy read. Yep, easy
Hey,
read.
Steve, can I ask you the same question? What would you recommend? Because I'm
For young coaches, I always say stuff
oh,
players need to know by Dick
Enzio.
Enzio. Yep.
Yeah.
That's the book I always go to because it's good for coaches. It's good for players. You know, it's just, again, I'm asking the question, so I don't have to answer it, but it would be really hard for me to pick one book because it really depends on, do I need to read Grit? Do I need to read Toughness? Do I need to read something that's X's and O's?
Yeah.
So I don't read it. The books back here I don't read as much. I listen to books more now than I read them, just because I'm busy and I can do two things at once.
Yeah.
So I can mow the lawn and listen to a book. So I'm trying, I tell my players and students that time is the most valuable resource you have. So I always try to contain things.
Sure.
So reading is almost a vacation joy. But yeah, that's hard. I mean, that stuff would probably be the one I would pick if I had to pick one. But there's so many good books.
Yeah.
No reason not to listen to them now either. One thing we already did that one. All right. One thing you would tell a young coach. This is the last question. One thing you would tell a young coach.
Surround yourself with good people and good things will happen. And get mentors. Get a mentor or mentors or accountability. People that are going to hold you accountable to being true to yourself.
Yeah. The mentor thing is you have to find somebody. And you can have more than one.
Yes.
That's what people don't understand is I have ones for different things.
Yeah, that's a great point, Steve. Yeah. And I've had different ones in different seasons of my life.
Right.
Like early in my career, it was Frank Kuhn, who was the head coach at the high school that he hired me as the freshman coach, and a wonderful human being, and just kind of set me straight. And then later on, it's other people. So
right. Like my brother runs a venture capital company. I'll talk to him about finances, but I'll also talk to him about basketball because he knows basketball. So you can have ones that do multiple things, but then you can have other ones that I'm going to go to this one when I have an administrative issue or I have, a life issue, or this one I'm going to talk to about like just basketball. So you can find different mentors that are going to give you different things.
Yeah.
I think sometimes when young coaches hear mentors, they think, oh, I got to find somebody who's good. No, I mean, you need mentors in more than one aspect of your life too, if you're going to be that well-rounded person. But well, thank you, Coach. I really do appreciate you coming on.
Hey, Steve, thanks for having me.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed this.
This is awesome. I will put you will send me all your contact stuff, and I'll put it on the show notes, and people can get a hold of you. All right.
Okay.
Perfect.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening. If you'd like to support us, go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. Also, subscribe and like. We do appreciate those. Have a great day.